17 years I've been a teacher. I am also a professional local realtor. After the Great Recession of 2008, I realized how important it is to have multiple streams of income to support my family and expand my charitable giving. In this adventure, I'm not alone. Today, nearly 50% of Americans have multiple revenue sources. This is why I'm hosting Streams, a show dedicated to why people have pursued work beyond their 9-to-5s. Hello, and welcome to the season finale of Streams. I'm so excited, and I can't believe that we're already here at the season finale. This has been just an incredibly fun ride these last 11 weeks, and there will be a season 2. I just talked to our producers backstage. That's just me. There will be season 2. But just to kind of give you a heads up, so we'll have the season finale tonight, and then we'll take probably a 3-week hiatus where I'll have a different format for more of my real estate business for the next 3 weeks. And then we'll come back after Labor Day. We'll start Streams season 2. And so more stories, more inspiration, and just more ideas for you to either follow up on, get inspired by, or just kind of enjoy on a Tuesday night, either way. No stream of the week this week. Ordinarily, I can give you a stream of the week, but I'm going to dive right into the interview this week, just because this one's going to be particularly close to the heart for me, as we're going back to my hallowed antiquity, and speaking with my college roommate, who has been just had a tremendous impact on my life, and and I just love him dearly. And so much of how I understand and view things has been just through how he has poured into me over the years. And so I'm just so excited to bring him on. And then he'll share the story and how his side street, how his passions outside of his work then transferred to his daughter, who also picked up on his passion. And so this is just going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait. But without further ado, pleased to introduce Andy and Penny Bordewick. There they are. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, John.
Hello.
Yeah, coming to us from, okay, so you have to understand, out of the million people watching, about 850,000 are from the Metro Detroit area. And so you guys are coming from Normal, Illinois, Bloomington, Normal, Illinois.
There you go.
Yep.
We're not in Normal. We're in Bloomington.
Normal Bloomington. Okay. And so now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, because Normal actually has a couple distinctions, but one that I find particularly interesting, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that most universities are named after like the city in which they live in. So our alma mater, Valparaiso University, named after the city of Valparaiso.
Yep.
But it's not usual that the name of a city is actually named after the university that's there, which originally was Illinois Normal School.
Absolutely. 100% correct. You got it. Yep.
All right.
Great piece of trivia.
And then also for our Michigan viewers, Normal, Illinois, which is McLean County, holds the distinction of, go ahead.
Being the #1 producer of soybeans or corn, depending on what year it is.
All right. What year is this year? Do we know?
I don't know.
So, all right. Fantastic. All right. So let's dive right into this. And so, I kind of mentioned when we were in the green room before that that kind of one of the inspirations for Streams was based upon a conversation that we had back in our college days. And I'm pretty sure we were sober at this point, but whatever, doesn't matter. And so, you really presented a challenge to the old adage of do what you love. You never have to work a day in your life. And you're like, okay, well, hold on a second here. Work is always going to be work. And so it's important to also find a passion. And so you and Penny have both found a passion outside of what you do on a sort of a 9-to-5 basis, but you've also found a way to also kind of monetize this a little bit. So why don't you dive into what that passion is, either Andy or Penny, and let's kind of let's get right into this.
Yeah, I'll start off, John. Thanks so much for the intro. Hope I'm not showing the tears that were falling down my face as you're saying those awesomely kind words. And the feeling's mutual. So thanks so much for having us. It's great to see you. I'd love to think that I had everything figured out in college, like you're suggesting when I was talking about, what we want to be when we grow up, right? And I don't think I really did, but it's good to hear that I was talking about that with you. But I've had recent validation with that. And really what I think is most important is that you can find something that's stable, a good company, somebody or people that you like to work with, a place where you can do what you need to do, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever it may be. To take care of business, to take care of your family, to take care of your obligations, whatever it may be. But then that will enable you to pursue what you're truly passionate about. So my passion is music. And at Valparaiso University, I played in the jazz band, played trumpet in the pep band as well. But after college, there wasn't much use for sitting in the room by myself playing the trumpet. So I picked up the guitar. I play guitar and sing now.
Awesome. So then, Penny, did you find a passion of music just from listening to Dad, or what kind of drew you into this world a little bit?
So it definitely started with Dad. I would sit and watch him play trumpet or sit and watch him play guitar. And then it's grown as I've gotten older. I'm currently going into my junior year of high school. I'm in jazz choir, concert band. I play flute. I picked up guitar, what was it, like 3 or 4 years ago? I just decided that I was going to learn how to play guitar. And here we are.
Why not?
Yeah. So music is, it's a big passion for me. I like it. I enjoy singing a lot. I was in church choir for a couple of years when I was like 8 years old. It's definitely rolled over into high school and where I am now.
And so obviously with all those different mediums all those different performance mediums that you have, what is your preferred method of performance? And so, you mentioned singing, you mentioned you play flute, you mentioned, you picked up guitar. And so if you had to pick one, what would you do and why?
The singing and guitar combination, hands down. It's just really nice to be able to accompany yourself or be with Dad and do stuff like that. I've started posting covers of my own on my social media page, and I really like it. It's fun to do.
And why not, right? I mean, if you enjoy it and you show and have a talent for it, and I've heard you play, you definitely do. Then why not? And so fantastic. Which actually leads. So we have 2 musicians on the show, and so let me just say real quick here that at the end of the show, we are going to have a musical performance. Okay, but you, the viewers, get to actually, in part, decide what we're going to hear. So I'm going to click on the banner here, and so what you're going to see are 4 different songs playing, scrolling across. And so in your Facebook feed, all you need to do is the songs that you want Andy and Penny to play at the end of our episode tonight. Okay, all you have to do is vote. You can either say 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can write the name of the song, either one. And so this is going to be great. So I'll leave that running, and we can kind of go from there. But let's get back to the interview. And so Andy mentioned working. You've got your 8 to 5, your 9 to 5, and so kind of talk about not necessarily what is it that you do, and then how is it that this helps to kind of meet that passion fulfillment piece, with working with being a musician as well.
Did you just suggest to not talk much about what I do? Because I was going to say,
No, I mean, you can promote all you want. This is free reign. So, you want to talk about your company and say, hey, we got this special going and all that. You do what you want to do. You're my guest, so you have at it. I'm, obviously the passion is on the music side, so that's what I want to kind of get into. But but go ahead.
Well, I'll briefly tell you what I do. I'm 8 to 5 briefly because it's not that interesting. But Penny just suggested she doesn't even know what I do, but
I really don't.
I think most of the family does. And we've got 3 kids, 2 younger siblings of Penny and my wife Lacey. And I'm working from home now because of the pandemic and all the craziness going on. And we don't have a huge house, so I'm sitting at the dining room table and doing my meetings and phone calls and everything. And they're frequently around and can hear what I'm talking about. And Jude, my son, in particular, has caught on to a lot of what I say and apparently repeat similar phrases over and over again. So after one of my phone calls the other day, he said, Dad, just remember, no matter who you're talking to, it's all about the client experience. And so my position, I work for Country Financial, which is an insurance and financial company based here in Bloomington. I work in client experience in the marketing area and do research with customers and try to help our company provide a better experience to them. So that's what I do in the 8 to 5 day job. But yeah, like I was saying before, the best thing about the company I work for is it's full of good people. And I like the people that I work with. And I learned at a very early age, no matter what job you're doing, walking through cornfields at age 12, which is like hell in the middle of July, working on a farm. But if you're with people you love, you can get through it, no problem. And that's what I did with my buddies back then. And that's what, John, you and I did in Pennsylvania in the summer of 2002. And that's, that's kind of what I do now is I've got a lot of great coworkers, good bosses, and enjoy who I work with. So that provides what I need when it comes to stability, benefits, pay, cover the bills, provide for the family, do what I need to do as a husband and a father and a provider. But at the same time, there's some great flexibility with my company and my job, even before we were working from home, to have kind of a flexible schedule when needed, time off and all those sorts of things. So if I got a gig at a local bar or restaurant and I needed to go early and set up, I could take my time off and go set up for my gig. And I've got lots of friends and coworkers at Country, and they'll come out and watch me play sometimes. So it's just, it is kind of a means to an end, is what we've talked about sometimes. Yeah. That enables me to provide what I need to provide, and then also pursue my interests and my passions that I want to pursue.
Yeah. And would you say that it enables music to continue to be a passion as opposed to a burden?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, something I've read about, along those lines of you should, find what you love and make that your work. And I actually read an article not that long ago that suggested that's the worst career advice you could ever give somebody. Mm-hmm. If you're going to start up a business and you're going to start with where your hobby, your passion, your love is, and you turn that into a business, chances are you might end up hating your passion and your hobby because it could cause you stress, and it could cause financial hardships and all those types of things. So my approach, not to discourage anyone out there who's looking to become an entrepreneur or pursue something new, is really to find something that I can do well, have stable employment, and find things I enjoy about it as much as I can, but mm-hmm. use that as the springboard to then pursue my interests outside of work. Okay.
Now, and so let me shift just slightly, and let me build on this for Penny. So Penny, you're going to be a junior in high school, and so are you going to heed that advice, or would you take the idea of if you could pursue music as a career, would you do that, or would you always want to keep it as more of a passion?
That's tough to answer being a high schooler. If the opportunity were presented that I could make something out of my music, I think I would.
Okay.
Just because, when I was little, I always had those dreams like, oh, I'm going to be famous. It's going to be awesome. As of right now, I'm actually looking to go into teaching after college. I want to study to be a history teacher, actually.
Oh, boy. We need to talk. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Please.
That's truth. I didn't tell her to say that.
No, yeah, I actually want to do that. Just after 2 years of high school, I've kind of gravitated towards. I was mostly between math and history. Right now, currently leaning towards history. So. Okay.
Yeah, it's as someone who's been at it for 16 years now, I still absolutely love it. And so, and I'm grateful for that. Right. And kind of, speaking to your dad's point, it's not as though, history is the passion. I guess I like it well enough, but I enjoy working with the kids and I enjoy the people that I work with. And so therefore it creates an environment that, okay, this is something I can do for 25 to 30 years while still being able to pursue the passion. So, so why teetering between math and history? So those are two very different, the way the mind's wired is different in both of those. So
they're both subjects I enjoy. History, I enjoy learning about the past, so future mistakes are not made. History repeats itself, as they say. Just learning from that. And it's also interesting to learn about places other than the United States. Like, that's pretty cool. And then I also just generally enjoy American history. And then math, I like math. I'm one of those strange people who enjoys math class. But yeah, I like working with numbers. Not the way he does, but I do enjoy numbers.
And here's a little more thought to that from a parental perspective, John, is Penny goes to Central Catholic High School in Bloomington, Illinois, which is where I went as well. And there are some really fantastic teachers there. And particularly in the math department, a couple female teachers who we think are excellent role models in addition to being fantastic educators. So from our perspective, we've observed she probably looks up to those teachers and may want to emulate them and maybe pursue that vocation just as they did.
Yeah, no, that's it does make a big difference. So when you're surrounded with people that are worthy of emulating, it does make a world of difference. Absolutely. So let's dive more into when do you get opportunities to play? And so, I know you have a little bit of a following around the Bloomington Normal area, and I see your posts frequently in terms of, hey, we got a gig here, we got a gig here, and so how have you sort of grown and made this local name for yourself?
Yeah, let me start, and I'll tell you how I got started, and then maybe Penny can add on how she gets her gigs. But so I started off about 10 years ago and had a friend that I met through a church function who was a bartender. And, he knew I played music because I had played at church a little bit, would kind of dabble and do stuff here and there, but wasn't really getting gigs or, performing at that point in time because I really didn't have the confidence to step out as a solo artist and do that. Whereas, coming from a background of playing the trumpet with a jazz band, you got 19 other folks up there with you. You don't really stand out unless you, step into the spotlight, play a solo for a little bit. But that's a lot different than standing with, by yourself, playing a guitar, singing songs. If someone makes a mistake, it's pretty obvious who made that mistake when you're playing solo. But that friend encouraged me. He's like, I'm tending bar, this Friday night. We're having trouble getting people in there. Might not even be anybody there. You could just be playing for me. And so I thought, well, I'll give this a shot. So I borrowed some equipment from another buddy of mine who has a band. It's like, hey, could I just borrow your amp and a microphone? I'm gonna give us a shot and see if anybody shows up.
Yeah.
And if anybody does, well, great. Well, I sent out the email like on a Wednesday, 2 days before the gig, and I just packed the place. Very fortunate to have different groups of friends and social circles that I could draw from. And I don't know if people were hoping to see a train wreck to see what might happen, or if they were just being good friends and wanted to come check it out. But they came, and the bar was swamped, the kitchen was swamped. The cooks are coming out like saying, "Who's playing tonight? What is going on?" Because we're selling food. This is unexpected, but it went so well that I kind of convinced myself that I could make it a go, that I could do it. To get gigs after that, it was kind of, network a little bit. I'd go into a bar, buy a beer, try to talk to the bartender, see if there's a manager who's running the place. If they're there, chat with them a little bit, introduce myself, talk about what I do, try to talk about some of the music I play, and sell myself a little bit to get some gigs. And did that here and there for a few years. And then bar owners are kind of an interesting type of person, and there's a bit of turnover, and there's ups and downs on getting gigs. But over the years, I've gotten a decent network where I've got a few places where I've played fairly regularly, and I try to present myself professionally as best I can. I don't drink when I'm playing, so that's a selling point for them because it's not going to cost them more money. A lot of bands might ask for pay and free beer as well, which kind of drives up the cost of hiring you. I don't drink when I play because I don't want to mess up. And if I get too relaxed, then I might make mistakes. So it's kind of a perfectionism there that keeps me from drinking. But after the gig, then I'll have one.
Right.
For sure. But in the last 2-3 years, what's really helped is through the town of Normal, which is our twin city of Bloomington. We've played together at a festival for a few years now.
I was going to talk about that.
And you can talk about it more. I'm just going to mention the person who runs that festival is actually a local agent for booking musical acts. And it is kind of surprising that a community our size, there's about 125,000 people across the two cities. It's not a huge metropolitan area. Mm-hmm. But we don't have a lot of great venues for national touring acts and big names. We'll get a few here and there with the universities and whatnot, but she was actually doing this kind of thing. It's a side stream for her. She's a teacher and had this network that she knew of bar owners and restaurants and things like that. So she started booking acts as an agent. And so I just hit her up. I got her contact info from a festival we had played at and said, hey, here's who I am. Here's what I do. If you have any openings at different venues that might do well for just a solo guy playing acoustic guitar, I'd love the opportunity. And so for the last 2-3 years, I've gotten all my gigs through her. And now I got more last year than I had for the previous 5 years probably. And I got paid more because she does the negotiating and she has her rates that she charges the places, and it was more than I ever asked for. So it just kind of worked out.
Yeah. And so it enables everybody to kind of swim in their lanes a little bit too.
Yep.
Yeah. And so then Penny, pick up on that a little bit. So your dad left you a nice segue. So why don't you continue?
So the music festival you mentioned is called Make Music Normal. That's where I think that's where I first started. We started together before I started playing guitar. The first year he just played guitar. I sang songs. We did a short little 30-minute set. And that was my first big gig. That fall I picked up guitar, and about 3 months after I started playing guitar, I played for my then grade school's annual fall fundraiser, chili cook-off, and probably don't want to go back and watch any of that.
She was great. Everybody loved it.
Yeah. So I got up on stage by myself because I like doing that. Contrary to him wanting to not, a little bit hesitant. I've always liked it. So we played Make Music Normal for a couple years in a row together. And then whenever he would get solo gigs, he would go on break for 30, 45 minutes. And I would step in there and play a set by myself. So
Nice.
that's where all my gigs come from. I don't think I've ever had like an actual solo gig of just me. But yeah, I'll do like talent show at school. I did that this year. I played at a nursing home once with the school trip.
Oh,
it's just everywhere.
They loved it. I can tell you right now that the folks at the nursing home absolutely loved you being there.
Well, let me say this, John. Everywhere Penny plays, everybody loves her.
Yeah.
So like
He's not wrong. I have my own little following. I have some friends who are just like, "Oh, you're playing a gig. Let me come watch." And so I'll like play at my dad's gig, and there's a couple other 16-year-olds there, and we're all just hanging out.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this then. How have you negotiated the split with the compensation on the gigs that you play?
He tells me what he gets paid per hour, and I take my cut of that.
Yeah, so the very first gig she played, I don't remember where it was, but when we actually got paid, because at Make Music Normal, when that festival started, it was just all volunteer. It was just kind of a community thing, encouraging people to come out and make music there. But the first time I played a gig where I got paid, and Penny played also, we did the math, we prorated it out. I said, this is what I got paid, and you played for 17 minutes. So here's your percentage of the cut. And I don't know, I probably gave her like $35 or something like that. And I think
it was awesome. I don't get paid regularly, so anything is amazing.
Well, I mean, at some point, you're going to give your dad a hard time and say, "Hey, Dad, they're here to see me. You gotta up this a little bit here."
Well, I mean, that kind of happened. We played at a street party that our cousins had, and people were just walking up to us and giving us tips. We didn't have a tip jar out or anything. They were just walking up to us and handing us money, and I got to keep all of it.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Right. I mean, it's the classic, it is time. And so, exchanging time. So love the story, and love to see that, just how you guys got started and how that continues to foster and grow into consistent work for you. And so it's so clear that passion is really at the core of it. And I think that's the overall, if there's a thesis for tonight, that would be certainly it. But a couple of things. One, reminder to the folks at home that if you to vote for the song that you want Andy and Penny to play, the songs are scrolling across the bottom. Looks like we have Lego House by Ed Sheeran, Somewhere in Neverland by All Time Low, Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, and Castle on the Hill also by Ed Sheeran. So all you have to do is type those into the chat function on Facebook and hit enter whenever you're ready. And then the top vote getters, Andy and Penny will play those to close out our show tonight. But before we get to that, it is time to put Andy and Penny into the gauntlet. And so I hope they are ready. Okay. And so, Andy, you have the odd questions. Penny, you have the even, except for question number 5. You have to come up with a final answer. And these are all real easy. It's just this or that. And again, reminder for folks at home, if you put your answer in and type it into the Facebook and into the Facebook chat function, and then after all 5 questions, hit enter. If your answers match Andy and Penny's, then I will send you a gift card to a Seattle-based coffee house that's nationally known. I wonder which one it is. So, all right, Andy, you got question number 1.
All right. I'm not supposed to say it?
Do not say it. Just keep it in the monologue.
Okay.
And so question number 1 is, obviously we're heading into theoretically a college football season. And I know you're from Illinois, and I know you absolutely hate the University of Michigan.
Correct.
But folks at home, don't hold that against him. He's a great guy. And so if Michigan was going to lose one game to be kept out of the college football playoffs, who would you rather that loss be to? Illinois or Notre Dame? Also, because you mentioned you're from Illinois, but you're obviously you're Catholic, and hey, you gotta love Notre Dame. So there's your choice. If only one of them is going to beat Michigan, which one would you want it to be?
Okay.
All right. Now, Penny, your first question. This one's going to get you in a little bit of trouble with either mom or dad, so just be ready.
Oh, why would you do that? Come on.
All right, here we go. Cubs or Cardinals?
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, Andy, your question. Now, I know that in your backyard that you grow some hops. And as an additional passion we didn't really touch on tonight, Andy also brews a lot of his own beer. So not necessarily one of your home brews, but if you wanted to have a beer that you just wanted to sit down and really enjoy, would it be an IPA or a stout?
Okay.
All right, good. All right. And then, Penny, obviously most of my viewers are from Michigan and they think Illinois, all they know about Illinois is Chicago and then farms. And so obviously this is just kind of giving the Michigan people what they picture with Illinois, and I'm going to take Chicago. So if you go, you've got a choice. Would that one day in Chicago be spent at Navy Pier? And I think I spelled Shed Aquarium right, but Shed Aquarium or Navy Pier, which out of the two? Okay. And then final question. This is one where we're going to take a commercial break, and during the commercial break, you guys can talk it out. But obviously, when you play your gigs, you do some covers. And so I want to know, here is a very well-known cover and the original. Which one is better? All right. And I'm talking about the song Hurt. Do you prefer the 9 Inch Nails version or the Johnny Cash version? All right. So we're going to take just a quick commercial break. And while we do that, submit your answers, and then also submit your votes for which songs you want Andy and Penny to play. And we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll come back. All right, we are back, and we're going to get Andy and Penny's answers here in a minute. But again, this is your last chance to vote for the songs you want them to play to close out the season of streams. All right, but first, before we get to the live show, let's get the answers. All right. So, question 1, Andy, this one was yours. Michigan loses one game to be kicked out of the college football playoff. Who do they lose that game to? Who would you rather? Illinois, Notre Dame?
The Fighting Illini, Illinois.
All right, ILL.
It happens so infrequently. I mean, Notre Dame beats Michigan all the time. So
yeah, that is true. That is true. Last year Michigan got the upper hand, but boy, a couple years before that, it wasn't pretty. But if there is a season, I think originally Michigan and Illinois were supposed to play this year. So. Yeah. We'll see. We shall see. All right. Penny, I'm not trying to get you grounded, but I am going to need an answer to this one.
Okay.
Cubs or Cardinals?
I'm going to say Cubs because I have a large Cubs influence outside of just the family. Almost all my friends are Cubs fans. So
All right. Your mom's not home right now, is she?
no.
Nope.
All right, so it's safe to say Cubs. Yeah, but this is recorded. She'll watch the recording eventually.
She will. She will. But that's okay.
All right, Andy, one good beer that you get to enjoy, IPA or stout?
100% stout.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I will say I have gotten into IPAs recently. Last summer, when we took our last vacation for who knows how long, we went out to Boston, and the New England style IPA is a big deal. So I tried a few out there, and it kind of grew on me. But generally, I'm not a big IPA guy. I really do enjoy the coffee, chocolate, thick sort of stout beers.
Yeah, absolutely. With you 100%. Again, no offense to the IPA, but to me, it tastes like a Christmas tree. And, there's just a smoothness to a stout that can just really be enjoyed. So I'm with you on that one, even though it's not my question to answer, but hey, it's my show, so I'm going to answer it. All right, Penny, your question. You're spending the day in Chicago. You only get to do one. You're going to Navy Pier or Shed Aquarium?
I'm gonna go Navy Pier.
Okay, why is that?
Well, I mean, I guess it also kind of depends on who I'm going with, but I'm more of a thriller rides kind of person than sit and look at fish.
Have you been on the thrilling ride at Navy Pier, John?
There's a Ferris wheel, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah, it's massive though. I mean,
It's so big.
It's really scary when you're on
It's
top
been
of it.
so long since I've been there. My parents were actually going to take because they do a trip with the grandkids when they turn 10. They were going to take them to Chicago, and I'm sure that would have been on the list. But basically, Chicago's closed down right now, so that trip got canceled.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably been it's been a long time since I've been one to Chicago or two to Navy Pier. I've been to Shed Aquarium once, and you guys are going to get a kick out of this. I had no idea, at least when I went there, that there were mammals, that there were sea mammals there.
Yeah.
And so, I just walked around, looked at the fish, and then, a week later, someone's like, "Oh, did you see the dolphins?" I'm like, "What dolphins?" Sorry, I didn't know. I just looked at it.
That's what I wanted to see.
Okay.
If you're going to Aquarium, you're going to look at the dolphins.
You might have to pay extra for that. I don't know. But it's been a while since we were there too. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome show. I mean, the trainers get out there and they do all the tricks and everything. Beluga whales too. The white belugas. Yeah, they got those also.
Had I known. All right. And so you guys were able to discuss the last one, and that is the song is Hurt. Absolutely awesome song. But which version? 9 Inch Nails or Johnny Cash?
We picked Johnny Cash.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I was little, 3 years old, I used to really like Johnny Cash's song Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
And would just dance to it at my grandparents' house. I remember that specifically. I would just spin in circles, Ring of Fire. So we picked Johnny Cash version. Yeah.
Another situation where I agree 100%. In fact, I believe that on the off occasions where 9 Inch Nails will play a gig, I heard they don't even play it anymore because they're like, dude, Cash played it. He outdid it. It's his song now. It's no longer ours. So, absolutely. All right. And so let's see some of the folks at home. And let's see. Of course, my dad's watching. He said Illinois Cubs Stout Navy Pier. Oh, this is the first time. That's my dad. Let's see. We've got Notre Dame. Nope, you're out. And then your mom says Cardinals, but
no.
So
nope.
We do have some votes. Number 2 and 3 on the songs, and looks like let's see, and Free Falling. So Free Falling had 2 votes, and Castle on the Hill also had 2 votes. All right, so it looks like we're doing Free Falling and Castle on a Hill. And so, Andy and Penny, would you do us the honor? Would you do us the honor of closing out season 1 of streams by playing those two tunes?
We'd love to, John. Thanks so much for having us. I was wondering what the cliffhanger was going to be before next season, because like I was thinking about when we used to watch Friends or something like that way back when, and you had a season finale. It was like something bad would happen or some cliffhanger.
But wait, there's more.
People don't even have to worry about that stuff anymore because you can watch TV whenever you want now.
No, that's not true. I had to wait until every Thursday for my new episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine to come out.
While you are getting things tuned up here, I just, speaking of which, you can binge watch the entire season 1 of streams. It's available on my YouTube channel. So just go, I think it's just John Drawl is the name of my YouTube channel. And so you should see all 11 episodes there that you can binge watch all 11. All right. Looking forward to your set. Here we go.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses and a boyfriend too.
It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, so I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. Not free, free falling. Yeah, free, free falling of the vampires walking through the valley. Move west down into the boulevard of the bad boys standing in the shadows. You're a good girl. Broken hearts. I'm free, free falling. Yeah, free, free falling. Free falling now, free falling now. Free falling down, free falling down, free falling down, free falling, free falling.
Wanna die down, or wanna calling, wanna ride her, hanging in the sky, gonna free fall. Out into nothing, gonna be first. We'll follow right.
Not free, free falling. Yeah, free, free falling. Free falling now, free falling, free falling now, free falling now, free falling now, free falling,
Free falling. Now I'm free.
All right. We can hear the applause from here. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.
All right, you're on.
All right. All right. Here's Castle on the Hill. Lot 16. Sorry, hang on. Let me restart here. You got 3 falling in the head, John. Just, you got to flip the switch sometimes, and the pressure of the show is just the millions of people watching. I'm blowing my chance here. There's not a big chance.
No, you're good. Whatever if whatever you wanted to do. So if you just need a tick to get things set, no problem.
I got it. I'm ready.
Right?
Good.
Yep, we got it. Not 6 years old, broke my leg. I was running from my brother and his friends. Tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. I was younger then, taking me back to when I found my heart again, met friends and lost dreams. I've not seen the roaring fields in so long. I know I've grown. I can't wait to go home.
I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to tiny dancers.
Miss the way you make me feel. It's real.
Watch the sunset over the castle and the hill.
15 years old, smoking and cigarettes, running for law through the backfields and getting drunk with my friends. My first kiss on a Friday night, I don't reckon I did it right. I was younger then, taking me back to when we found
Weekend jobs,
we got paid to buy cheap spirits and drink them straight. Me and my friends are not thrown up in so long. Oh, how we've grown. I can't wait to go home.
I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to tiny dancers.
Miss the way you made me feel. It is real.
Watch the sunset over the castle. Over the castle. Over the castle.
One friend left to Soho. One works down by the coast. One had 2 kids, but there's alone. One's brother overdosed. One's already on the second wife. One's just barely getting by.
People raise me tonight. Can't wait to go home. I'm on my way. I still remember these his own country late when he did not know the answer.
Miss the way you make me feel it's real.
Watch sunset over the castle.
Over the castle on the hill.
Over the castle.
Woohoo! I'll tell you what. I think we found a new format to where every episode I bring you guys on and you close things out.
There we go.
So, but thank you. Such a beautiful set. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and very much appreciate having both of you on the show. And then thank you for guiding everybody through through your story and your experiences on following the passion. And so just cannot thank you enough for that. And again, if there's any doubt as to the idea that that passion, that the music is a passion in the Bordewick household, just look no further than all three of the kids' names. You have Penny, Molly, and Jude. And if you can post the connection between all three of those, then maybe I'll even send you a nice little gift card as well. But you got to tell me which songs they're tied to. I mean, one of them is easy. Actually, two of them are pretty easy, but there's one where you might have to think a little bit. And so, go ahead and get those posted. But that being said, that is a wrap on season 1. Again, thank you so much. We will be back with streams the Tuesday after Labor Day. So we're gonna hit the ground running, and we'll run from Labor Day to about Thanksgiving. We'll have about 12, 13 more weeks, more stories, more ideas, more inspiration. But I'll see you then. And with that being said, have a good night and God bless.